This is Stafford Beats, and you're watching No Takebacks.
Hold up all these files, don't need no partners to finish cups, y'all. Can't run them bleeds, but don't flag off. You just up the song. Blowing down just be medicinal. The pearls train of thought. Only know how to scratch me. That was still giving table talk.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of No Takebacks.
Yes, sir.
Today we are with the one, the only, Mr. Stafford Beats, hosted by Pxpi, AK, and
I'm Zion, like Lion, or you can call me Lil Z.
And here he go with that shit again.
Yeah, multiple names.
So this time we're not in our traditional place.
We had to travel.
We had to travel because it's bum ass, but we're okay with it.
We definitely said we make people travel, and we ain't following that. But
we
it's
ain't
okay.
even follow it through. So I guess you can tell something special going on with my relationship or our relationship with Stafford. So we want to kick this off with just asking you a couple questions and seeing how you feel about certain things. So we know you've been making music a while now. How long you been doing that? How'd you get into it?
Oh, okay. So if we go way back to like 2013.
Dang, that man old. 2013.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
24.
So we
Dang.
go.
You was 13.
What? All right. So we go back to like 2013, right? I'm watching some random videos that pop up on my YouTube because I'm always watching YouTube when I'm a kid. Like I wasn't watching like Netflix or like anything like that. I was all YouTube all the time. I was always like, I don't know, not really like learning shit, but always watching some like funny at first. Now I only use it for learning. I was scrolling around on YouTube videos and I saw this one that was recommended. It was like a Genius breakdown.
Okay.
And it was somebody making like a rap beat. And I saw it and I was like, I don't know, I wasn't really into rap. So I literally did not.
You didn't even grow up like kind of making the genres that you make today?
Not.
Oh,
I didn't listen to rap probably till I was like 15.
You know.
It's crazy. Because like my parents only showed me like certain like the types of music they listen to, and neither of my parents really listen to rap like that.
Oh, okay.
Like my dad was always on a rock wave. My mom
like Lenny Kravitz or something.
Like AC/DC, Disturbed.
Dang,
like,
you talking about that?
A lot of yeah type shit. But my mom, I didn't even know until I was like 17 or 18. But my mom used to listen to like Ice Cube and Tupac and all types of shit.
Oh, so she was riding dirty.
But she never put me on to any of that. She would only let me listen to Christian music growing up till I was like 14. And
but they had them real instruments in there.
Not to make the white connection, but I listen to Jack Harlow a lot, and hey, hold up, wait a minute.
Okay.
Nah, Jack Harlow, his mom was like an Eminem fan or whatever. She was really into hip hop.
Did I?
I think his dad would just like build houses or something. I don't know, but it's weird. Like his mom was really into rap, and is what put him into rap, which is not what you expect.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's actually crazy. So it was the opposite for me. So my mom used to listen to a bunch of rap, but I didn't know until I was like 17, 18. That's like when I was already into it.
Okay, so when she was opening up her relationship with you a little bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's
and
dope.
it's crazy too because I live with my mom most of the time. I would only see my dad like every other weekend type shit.
So she was trying like not to corrupt you.
Yeah. She would only let me listen to Christian music. Like she didn't. It was crazy. That's all she would listen to around me too. Like she was good about hiding that shit.
But do you have a favorite though? Because like
Christian artist
or favorite Christian song that you grew up listening to?
Yeah.
Not really.
Like that CHH is like really blowing up.
You listen to Kirk Franklin?
Not.
Whoa.
No, I listen to like basic shit.
Okay.
Like shit you would like hear in a church.
Hymns.
Oh yeah, straight up hymns. None with no.
Yeah.
I was growing up listening.
Do you want to
like the most extensive shit I would be able to listen to around my mom was like Skillet. Y'all know Skillet?
See now he lost
I know
me.
Skrillex.
Nah, it's his band Skillet. Some of y'all here going. Yeah.
So listen,
frying bitches up.
I'm looking at your Spotify. You have 1.2 million listeners.
Whoa.
6 million streams.
What are you looking at?
What you posted on Instagram.
Whoa.
Let me see.
Hold up.
Now we got to fact check.
I got to pull it
like,
back up.
Sometimes Stafford doesn't even believe his own stuff.
The raps.
Yeah, your Spotify rap.
I thought you were talking about like currently that many.
No.
Okay, so we're talking about
1.2 million listeners, 6 million streams, 258,000 hours, 179 countries.
Wow, what a rap!
How
what
does
a
how
year.
does how does that happen? How long has that taken this whole time?
How do you get that type of growth?
No, honestly, it's kind of cheat codes because that's me as a producer.
Yeah,
that's not even me as an artist.
Yeah, Stafford be singing.
That's art. I mean, producing is art.
Well, yeah. But like, what I mean by that is it's not like me pushing all those songs. Mm-hmm. I'm getting the right songs done with people. Like, as a producer, you should absolutely be starting a Spotify, because if you start a Spotify as a producer, you are able to release the songs with artists that you've been wanting to drop with anyways, but now your name's also attached to the title, and when your name's attached to the title, you can grow your monthly listeners, and it basically is like your portfolio. It's like a catalog.
Just that simple.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at your hat right now, Underground Retreats. You working with all these artists. Have you, like, I know the retreats that we're going to get into the retreats, but I know it's a lot about networking. Is that something you just been good at already, or like?
Oh yeah, networking is like easily the reason that I'm where I am today.
Oh wow.
So I had a crazy strategy when I started making music.
Put us on game, Staff.
This is the strategy that got me. This is a strategy that got me to be full time as a musician. It's crazy.
Oh wow. So what was that gap though, from when to start to get to?
It was
where
like a
you
year.
With that? Okay.
It was like a year.
So it only took him a year.
So I was in the military when I started making music.
Okay.
And within a year, I was making more off beats than I was in the military. And I did it with one trick. Literally, I messaged 5 people every single day.
Wow.
That's literally
just
the
consistency, guys. Consistency and interaction and reaching out. Like hearing
if you think about it, if you message 5 new people every single day, 5 times 7, what, 35? That's 35 people a week. And out of those 35 people, you'll probably build a genuine connection with at least like 2 or 3 of them.
You gave yourself 35 chances in a way.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you have 2 to 3 people that you connect with every single week, like on a personal level,
and it's
crazy.
Not just like sending your beats to them or anything like that.
Oh,
it's
hell
actually
no.
Getting to know them, asking how they are and where they're from and all that good stuff. So I guess my next question to you would be, whenever you're approaching an artist, what is like, how do you go about it? Like, how do you DM them? What do you say? Maybe some advice. Do you have
a copy and paste, or do you got something new every time? Are you that guy,
or are you send different messages to different artists?
Right. So there's 2 different sides to that.
Okay.
So one side, if I'm messaging somebody about like the retreat or something that I'm like a class that I'm doing or a product that I've got or something like that.
Yeah.
I very strategically word exactly how I'm going to say it so that it converts the best, especially with the retreats, because I want as many people as possible to come.
Yeah.
So for that, it's like half and half. I've got like half copy paste message and half is personalized. So I'll usually copy one part of it that's like the informative part, but I'll include something personal. And that's how I've been able to grow it so big too, is because I'll see somebody raps or something, right? And I'll message them when they hit me up about the retreat, and I'll be like, hey, like, I fuck with this song, like, this would be a cool style, and then here's all the info for the retreat, and I'll paste that.
Oh,
so
okay.
it's like,
so they still get that information, and they still get that one-on-one. Like, I have acknowledged you have looked at their profile and seen that this will be a good fit for them.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's about not seeming like a robot. Like, people are going to understand if you have to copy paste details. Like, that makes sense. But if I'm copying and pasting the same exact message to everybody, it's not going to come across as authentic.
Yeah.
So, but then
sometimes artists chat too.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I know me as an artist, if I get a message from you and I'm like, oh man, this is dope, and then I go to my friend who's also an artist that you might have message and they have the same one, I don't feel like it's as special anymore.
Yeah. I'm reaching out to somebody 100% of the time is not going to be copy paste. It's always going to be 100% personalized, because if I'm hitting somebody up,
that's how you know you're getting scammed. If somebody comes to you and they claim that they're Stafford Beats and it doesn't feel authentic. He's authentic.
No, for real. I be chronically online too. Like, that's.
I mean, but that's part of your job as a full time. Like, but you can. Yeah. You're a jack of many trades, though. So not only do you make music, not only does he produce, he also write music. and you're a vocalist, and you do videography, cinematography, all that good stuff, and you promote all of it. So you're all in one. So what is it like doing that yourself, and what would, if you were to create a staff, what would you look for in a staff?
Yeah, what's your day-to-day like?
Mm-hmm.
My day-to-day is crazy. So you know how some people will have like a super messy room, like they know where everything is.
Yeah,
that's me mentally.
Okay.
Like that's how I stay organized. Because it's so crazy. It's like I have to write certain things down so I don't forget them and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like
notes app.
The way that I plan my shit on a macro level instead of a day-to-day level is like I've got big objectives that I want to hit, and
how often do you set those?
Well, I just have like general goals. I usually have them for like 5 years in the future.
Oh wow!
Right, like I've got like a 3-month, a 1-year, and a 5-year like main goal.
Oh,
and then I've
nice.
got other things that are associated with that.
Short-term goals and long-term goals.
Yeah. So I used to work. I was in the military working at a psych ward, and that was like the biggest thing that I got out of it was teaching group therapies about goal setting. So my day-to-day involves having. We can get into that more in a little bit, but basically to answer the question, my day-to-day involves doing whatever feels right that day, as long as it's in line with those long-term goals. Because I'm the type of person that I can't be like, I'm gonna do these 3 things in like 3 days. Like if I think of something that I want to do, I have to execute it right then, or it's just not gonna be as good.
It's a great way of thinking. It's a very productive way of thinking. Okay, I guess the follow-up question behind that would, what are some things that you think that you can do better with running your multi-businesses?
I would say things that I could do better.
Is there something you're working on right now, improving?
I mean, I don't like to live with a lot of regrets.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't feel like there's anything that
no regrets, you know.
Yeah.
No regrets.
No, I would for sure. Cause like I don't feel like there's anything that I'm like doing wrong specifically, or like.
I think everything.
Everything improves organically in its own way.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't really focus on the things that like, oh, I could be better at this. I could be better at this. And the reason is because I'm always learning.
Yeah.
Okay.
The way that I live life, and I'm not on the level that maybe you're at or even you're at, but the way that I look at life right now is that everything that happens, positive or negative, is a life lesson.
Yeah.
You know, if something blows up, you learned a formula. If something drops down, you know, maybe don't try that again or switch it up. So I like that.
But does that discourage you sometimes? Because you do post consistently, and you have TikToks that go to 1.2 mil. You have TikToks that maybe fall short to maybe just 5K. And does that kind of discourage you from posting as consistently as you do, or like have you got like overcome something like that?
No, so I think at first, like when I first started getting viral videos and, you know, kind of consistently hitting things like, you know, 10, 50, 100K or up, I think at that point, like when I first started hitting it, sometimes, yeah, I get a little discouraged if something doesn't do that well.
Okay.
But I learned this thing that like really changed my perspective on TikToks and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and stuff like that.
You got to learn something.
Yeah, and it's that the consistency is more important than literally anything else. Because think about it like this: if you minimum get 1,000 views on a reel, which is about what a lot of people do. I would say that's a good average.
Mm-hmm.
If you get on average 1,000 views per reel and you post 30 reels in a month, how many views is that?
Yeah.
It's 30,000 views.
30,000 views.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
So my average is typically somewhere between 2 and 5K. Mm-hmm. So if I'm posting every single day, I'm guaranteeing that every month I'm getting more than 50,000 people to see my shit. So why would I be caught up about a video that doesn't blow up if I know I can make the right video?
That's a damn good way of thinking.
And whether or not it blows up, it's still gonna get the amount of traction that it needs to.
That's kind of like, I mean, there's a lot of like cringe artists on TikTok that go off of that.
A lot.
But like, Mr. Beast. That's a lot of the way that.
Cringe.
That's. hey. We want him on the show. We want him on. I'm not.
I don't know. He got the allegation.
Oh, hold up. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You got a point.
Yeah.
But
anyway.
pre-allegation Mr. Beast. The way that he, like, a lot of his videos, he would be like saying Logan Paul 1,000 times. And it's like super, like, just stupid videos. But if you just keep posting, like, eventually someone's gonna be like, "Oh, what's this stupid guy doing?" And then you get 1 million viewers. You can do the switch up, like, "Hey, I actually have a talent." And so I like the consistency. Yeah. Consistency, like, you have to make. How many bad songs have you made before you got,
So in general, male or female, who is up next?
I think.
Don't say no bullshit. You be on that bullshit.
You talk about Doja Cat one time.
You talk about
Doja Cat one time.
Doja Cat's up next, Steph?
I don't know if she's.
What you got against Doja Cat?
Everything.
Why is Doja Cat catching a stray right now?
Bro,
Because she be in racial chat rooms showing feet every once in a while. Listen, so everybody does something crazy online. I'm just saying. This,
Not Dominic Fike.
But I don't know.
Well, who is it?
Who?
Who?
A specific name?
Yeah.
A woman that's up next?
No, just somebody who's up next. Like, who has like really outperformed your expectations, and you're just like, wow, this artist is really like not as noticed as they should be.
Not well, Doja Cat.
We'll hold off on your answer.
Yeah.
Staff.
Yeah.
Man.
Marinate.
I'm a marinate on it. I don't listen.
Mine is Doechii. Like today,
okay, so that's fair.
I literally was watching some type of clips of her Tiny Desk NPR set. And I was so impressed, and it's been a while since I was actually impressed with another artist. Her character, she has so much character. She has the lyricism. She has the production. Like Kendrick, I'm not even a Kendrick fan nor a Drake fan, honestly. But he was right that she is really up next. Like,
I think, and backtracking to Doja Cat because I follow her career.
Oh my gosh! If you will,
listen,
fucking Doja Cat.
I think
more goddamn time.
She's seen the times when she's seen the most sane is when she was kind of in that B tier, C tier type realm. And I think when Say So came out, because I think for her biggest thing is she's a rapper, she's a pop star. She's an R&B artist.
She wants to just be an artist. She doesn't want to put herself in the box.
And so when Say So really blew up, everybody was like, "Oh, you're a pop artist. You're the biggest artist in the world." And I think that pressure is too much for some people, and people don't necessarily want that pressure. Like, they just want to be able to make whatever. And so I wonder, for y'all two are artists, is that something that y'all aspire to just go as far to the moon, or is there a level where you just want to get to where it's comfortable?
I feel like if there's anybody that agrees with that second option,
being
they're not really an artist.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be popping, but
well, I think it's because they're scared of that, because people have their conspiracies
about
being scared about being an Illuminati.
Well, yeah, but the bigger you get, the more you're judged. The more people will hate you for no reason.
Well, yeah, I mean,
money either way.
So I'm not trying to say I don't know. I'm not trying to say you're not a real artist or whatever. If you don't want that, I
stand on it.
No,
hashtag
for sure.
Stand on it.
Because I'm thinking about the people that are they're artists, they're making music for the sake of
spreading their
putting their word and their message and shit out there.
Yeah.
And if it's somebody that makes music but without the intention of people listening to them, yes, they're an artist, but in this sense, that's not what I'm defining as an artist. I feel like that's a hobbyist.
For me as a filmmaker, I'm when I think of stuff that I want to create, obviously making something that makes the most money is great, but I also want stuff I want to make stuff that my family and my friends would enjoy, that I would enjoy. And if someone else doesn't enjoy it, it is what it is, because it's not my vision to necessarily make something.
Yeah, but you still want to reach the most amount of people
Yeah.
that
Still
understand
definitely-
your vision.
Yeah, you
and
still
that's
want
what
people
I'm
to
saying.
see your films.
So you're asking if you want, if an artist wants as many people as possible to hear their stuff.
Yeah.
And if you have a specific defined target audience, then yes, like if I make EDM music, you know,
You
like
want a full
I'm
pack
trying to
club.
reach the EDM fans. Like if
Yeah.
it's somebody that likes lo-fi music, like it'd be cool if I convert them to a fan or whatever, but like that's not the objective, you know.
I
But
Would
like
you suggest for people to step out their box too, so they can broaden their audience?
like to cater to other people.
Yeah, to cater to other, or
It-
do you
it
think
depends-
artists will get caught up in something like that?
It depends on what you want to do. I would say go for it, not because it's for the intention of reaching more people, but it's probably because you haven't done something like that before.
Yeah.
So, do either of you have fear of getting that big to where people just judge you for walking outside?
No,
No, I don't really care.
That's
Like,
I don't care who sees me, bro.
yeah, but that's also like a barrier that you have to break down yourself as an artist, because you do get to a point to like, okay, even me, yeah, I'm not crazy big or anything like that, but I do still average about 15 to 20 DMs per day. And I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
First, especially when Instagram's breaking down your DMs so you can organize them a whole lot better.
Yeah.
And in that moment, it's so overwhelming that you're just like, I don't know if I can, like, because this is just gonna get worse. It's not gonna, people aren't gonna back off of something like this. So you really just want to, that moment right there is where you're gonna be like, do I want to get bigger or do I want to stop?
yeah.
And because if you can't handle that 15 to 20 DMs per day, then what the fuck are you gonna do with 5,000 and half of them are death threats?
I see. Yeah, I seen you got like 100 DMs, or currently.
Like,
No,
Oh yeah, that's regular for
Unopened.
me.
100 plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was in like 6 hours.
damn. See,
So
what's your like average story view?
It ranges. So when I post stories, I do it very strategically based on whether or not I want more story views.
Oh wow.
I know
Why?
it sound crazy, but like you could control how many story views you get. It's actually super easy. So
Shit, he finna put us on game.
so when you're making Instagram stories, there's a couple different ways that people see it, and there's a couple different ways people interact. Mm-hmm. So you'll notice, and you'll probably observe this like after we talk about this, and you see
okay.
my stories over the next few weeks or whatever. I post everything very strategically on my story in like a 24-hour period. If it's
And I
something
be
like
stalking his stories. Like,
so,
fuck.
if it's something like the retreats going on, I'm gonna post hella stories because I'm getting the traction to the retreats from the reels, and that's what's getting me story views. And I want the people who are viewing my story at that point to see as many retreat related things as possible. One, because it's gonna convert good, but two, because I want to spread the word about the retreats, and what better way than to do it while we're actually there.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
I had like 20-30 stories every single day during the retreat, right? It's always hella stories. Like I
suggest, like,
repost
having
everything.
a story post every day. Like even
Yeah,
as
yeah.
somebody who doesn't
But-
like host events like that.
But so the other way that I do it is like, let's say I'm about to launch a product,
Yeah.
announce a new retreat, something that like I want motherfuckers to know.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do
Yeah,
is
like, what's your rollout for that?
I'm gonna post a hot take first.
Oh,
I'm gonna post
that's good.
literally, bro. It's crazy. Anything that elicits hella story views.
yeah,
I'll make a typo. I'll like
Oh, yeah,
fake
so-
leak an email.
yeah.
Like anything.
people-
I'm not
bro.
gonna hold you. I peeped it. Now I'm mad.
People like, hey,
that's-
people love typos for real.
That's-
Like you type something in wrong, they'll be like, "That's not how you spell that."
Yeah.
Dang, they just be trolling like that. Like you have
Sometimes
nothing else
I
to
feel
do.
like the
Touch
typo
some
thing
grass,
has died out a
bitch.
little bit. Like it
Yeah.
still works sometimes.
There's all kind of
but
tricks like that.
yeah, but yeah, like at its core, it's one of those engagement things. But
Yeah.
I'll post stories that's like, I'll say like slide up with saying this word if you want me to like send you this thing for free or whatever.
Yeah.
Because Instagram's gonna show your story first if you get hella replies and hella views and interactions and likes, and
yeah.
watch time also is very important. So it's a little bit like reels, but your stories are all
Damn.
based on a 24-hour period. So I'll start with like a hot take, and I'll go to like something random next, promote the thing that I'm trying to promote, and then one more thing that's either like a little bit of a hot take or a follow-up to that initial
Damn.
thing, where like I'll post a response. Like I'll post the wildest response that I got to the first story or whatever.
Yeah.
And then
tricking y'all hoes.
And then I'll have a bunch of people that like laugh at it, or they'll say something about it or whatever. But then all those people are also going to see the thing that I'm promoting.
But it's like you're looking at it from like a viewer standpoint and a marketing standpoint. Yeah. So it's just like, I know me as a viewer, like if I see a typo on something, I'll be like, dude, you might want to take this down, or da-da-da. Yeah. Or I might be a troll and I'll be like, oh, dumbass, you forgot how to spell like that. But either way, that's engagement. Yeah. And like some people send it off to other people.
Sometimes I'll do a story that's like, I'll say like, just send some beats to like this rapper, and I'll type a fake email that has their name in it. And then a bunch of people slide up like, yo, bro, you might want to take this down. You just leaked their email. But it's like a fake email.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put anything with Gmail behind it, they're gonna be like,
no, I'll do the whole like custom domain and everything. I'll be like
at Def
I'll be like mgmt at yeetproductions.co or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
Yo, take this down.
So I want to talk about the retreats. I
definitely watched a documentary.
I watched a few documentaries.
Oh wow! He up on me.
Yeah. So I'm curious. I know 70-ish people. You got to be spending. I mean, I don't want to pocket watch, but you got to be spending like 20,000 or something on these.
It depends on the retreat for sure, but
yeah. So explain what the retreats are for people.
And what's the end goal for them as well? Like
Okay. So in summary, the underground retreats is basically a series of events. Every single event is, we call it a retreat. We invite artists from literally all over the world, and we get a mansion in designated locations.
This one in Atlanta.
Yeah. We invite producers, artists, videographers, whoever, from all over the world. They fly out to this mansion, and they just make music for a week. It's underground retreats. And it started as a thing that's just like a get together of homies just trying to like make some music together and whatever.
I remember because when I first started coming, we had like 30 people on it.
Yeah, if even really that, like sometimes it'd be like 20 people.
Yeah, I saw you said that it's kind of like accidentally happened. Yeah, like it wasn't the plan.
But the end goal with well, let me back up. So as we've progressed, we've introduced so many more elements. We've especially since the last one that you went to, like that shit was so unorganized. It was chaotic. Like nobody was actually doing anything. But we were still
having a good time. Even though I caught COVID. Like, dude, I caught COVID.
That was crazy.
It was rough.
But it was fun regardless. It's always been fun. It's always been productive. People have always gotten great networking and shit. Like there's still people from the first couple retreats that talk to each other like every day.
My music peer group is everyone that I've met from these retreats.
Literally.
And it's so amazing because it's like I met you guys like 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of the vibe that I
look at us now.
Yeah.
A lot of the vibe that I picked up from people is that they gained like a family from this.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
That's the thing though, because like Poppy still talks to a whole bunch of people like Cree. I talk to Cree all the time, and he's always talking about Poppy. Like at least like once a week when we talk, he's like something about Poppy, like what you been doing, the music you've been making, like a funny story. I love
talking to Cree.
But that's the thing is like it really builds a family, and we took it from that to formalizing it and making a brand, because before we just called it like artist retreats. We didn't have a name for it.
Oh yeah.
So I branded it. I called it underground retreats. So I got this shit tattooed on my leg. Now we're doing music releases. We're trying to develop artists more.
Okay. Is Stafford looking to sign an artist? Have you peeped anyone?
We'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that later.
But so I want to talk about something kind of controversial.
I ain't even finished answering the question, my boy.
Oh, you still? What was? Oh, you were still talking?
I ain't finished like 3 of the questions. I'm gonna pause that right now.
It's related because
we want to pick your brain, man.
I've seen some people say negative things about the retreats. I've seen some people say that it's just a bunch of SoundCloud rappers or a bunch of like non-musicians.
Yeah, and I mean,
you can answer. I've seen the opposite. I've seen a band at Wawa. I've seen all kind of things. So kind of.
I'm just gonna say this: find one person that said one of those things that's been there.
That is valid. That's actually a damn good response, because you really like, it is easy for a clip to fool you. Yeah. And especially when you don't see 30 seconds before or 30 seconds after it. But what I will say of being in these environments, they are everything and more. And you will not have that sour taste in your mouth. Whatever you think it is, whatever doubts you have in your head about coming to one of these, you should really, And
I'm gonna put his Spotify numbers up one more time, just for the people that said 1,000 monthly listeners only or 50 monthly listeners. Listen, he got something going. You've had like a guest speaker or something, or is that something you?
Yeah, we have guest speakers at damn near every retreat. So this last big retreat before this that we did was a September retreat. We had 2 mansions side by side, 70 artists and producers there, and we have 4 guest speakers. And out of all 4 of those guest speakers, not one of them makes less than $100K a month off of music.
Ooh, who was the most recent one for this Atlanta retreat?
For guest speakers? Mm-hmm. We actually didn't do guest speakers for Atlanta because it was only 5 days, but we had special guests that got invited. So TB Digital from Producer Grind has been there.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if y'all know him, but in case you don't, he's interviewed Metro Boomin, TNT, Taz Taylor, like basically every like 98% of every big producer he's interviewed.
And this guy's tapped in.
Yeah. So he came through. My boy Timmy the Hitman came through. He's produced for Rod Wave, Young Boy. We had Kavi. His name is spelled KXVI. Yeah. He's produced for DJ Khaled, Future, Lil Durk, 42 Doug, I think, 50 Cent, all types of shit.
So are you just inviting new artists, or are you welcoming experienced artists, or how does that work?
Oh, I invite everybody. So that's the whole thing about the retreats is we've developed so many people. There's a couple people that I could think of specifically that have come to so many retreats, and over that time, they become like incredible artists.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because every time you go to a retreat, it basically speed runs your career by 6 months.
Yeah.
That's kind of the math that we've done. It's like between the networking, the music you get done, like minimum, you're going to advance 6 months ahead of everybody else.
Okay.
So you could be the worst artist against the best artist, but if you have like a year's worth of time on them, like that's a lot. Like working time, not just like,
It really speeds it up.
I think that's something like there's a lot of people that talk down on certain rappers. I don't want to bring up any specific rappers, but we in an era.
Lil Pump.
Okay,
is he a rapper?
Let's say Lil Pump. There's a lot of people that will say negative things about Lil Pump, but Lil Pump is in the studio every day, and you're at
making
home
some bullshit.
But you're at home not doing anything. If you're at home, you make a song every other month, and Lil Pump makes a song every day, Lil Pump is going to get more views than you, just automatically, because he's consistent.
But, okay, that's a little bit difficult, because it is, at that point, we're looking at quality over quantity.
Yeah, but, like, with something like the retreat.
What of Lil Pump's is quality?
Okay,
but it doesn't matter. Look where he is.
Is that a hot take?
That is also true.
That's the whole thing. True. So there's 2 routes.
Humbled.
Technically 3. There's 2 routes or both to become a musician that's very, very successful. 1, you have stupid good music, or 2, you have stupid good marketing. Either one of those, no matter what the other one is looking like, could do really well. If you make the greatest music on earth, but you're not that good at promoting, as long as you're networking a little bit, you could pop off.
And that's why the retreat helps is with the networking.
Yes.
A lot.
Yeah.
And if you are really good at networking and marketing, like stupid good at that, but you're not very good at music, you could still do very, very well. So if you're an artist who's capable of both, you apply both, and you see some of the growth that some of the biggest artists in the entire world have. So it doesn't matter if it's somebody that's like Lil Pump's level of music, or if it's somebody that's like fucking Dominic Fike. Like either way, if you have the marketing down, you can make it. If you have the music down, you can make it. But the thing is, a lot of people think their music's at that level that like it could immediately get recognized or whatever, but like it's really not.
Yeah.
Most artists do not make good enough music that the music carries.
You're not gonna blow up overnight. Where are you from?
Yeah, that's a great question. Where are you originally from?
So originally, I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Okay.
I lived there until I was 18. Joined the military. Why'd you join the military? Went to boot camp in Texas. Went to Alaska for a couple years. Smoked weed to get myself kicked out of the military.
It worked?
Then I lived in North Carolina, Germany, Canada, Alaska. Well, I already said Alaska.
Where will you retire?
Fuck if I know.
You don't have a dream spot?
On average, I'm moving like once a year because I just like seeing everything. I like living in different areas, seeing different cultures, seeing how different people live and shit. Like,
how long were you in the military before you got kicked out?
On that za.
I was in 3 years. Yeah. Oh yeah. So I did boot camp for a year. Not quite a year. Like between boot camp and tech school, it was like 2 months. Yeah, Air Force. 2 months in boot camp, and then like 4 months in my tech school, and then I went to Alaska after that. I was working at a psych ward, doing like 16-hour shifts.
That's a great circle back because, like, how did you end up because you get to choose your job? Did you get to choose your job?
No. So typically you get to choose your job, or for the Air Force specifically, you can choose open in 4 different categories. So you could go open general, which is just about anything administrative or like. I mean, it's anything. You could be anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then there's general electrical.
Yeah.
General medical. General admin, and then like one other
Stafford
thing.
Saving lives.
And it would basically be like, if you do like general medical, you're basically saying you're okay with any medical job. If you're just saying general, you're basically good with any job. And that's what I didn't realize, because my recruiter told me that I had to like pick out a few jobs that I would want, and then I had to do an open category as well, so he could just get me in. And I believed him, so I was like, okay, bet. And then I went in thinking I was going to be in like Intel or cybersecurity or whatever, because I got like a 98 on my ASVAB.
Oh, wow.
Can you even get a 98?
You could get 100. It's out of 100.
Oh, it is?
I'm a bad test taker, and I'm like pretty 70. Slow.
Bro, that shit is like way too long.
I'm pretty slow, and I'm a bad test taker. I don't know how the fuck I got a 98.
So did anything related to that help you grow as a person?
I mean, I was kind of a bitch before I joined the military, and a little bit after too, for sure. But
in what way?
Yeah, in what way would you be a bitch?
I don't know, just
like they toughen you up.
Yeah.
And you was ripped.
No.
Okay, so Air Force has its true meaning.
Yeah, Air Force is easy as fuck. We didn't even do a mile and a half. We did like a mile. No, we did a mile and a half. Y'all do like, you were Army, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do like what, 2 miles for the run? Yeah, we did like a mile or a mile and a half for the run. You only have to get like, for the guys, like 42 push-ups in a minute, and like.
That was the girls in the Army.
No, it was like 32 push-ups in a minute, or like and like 44 sit-ups in a minute.
Shit.
I know y'all be doing like sit-ups in like 2 minutes and like 3 minutes.
Like what? I want to say like
y'all had pull-ups and like all this other like extra shit.
Oh no, now that's they have all we did. Stuff. It's called like the ACF tier.
They got all the crazy shit. Nah, I only had to do, running, push-ups, sit-ups. That was it.
What are some things that you've seen artists do as promo that you're like, don't fucking do that?
Oh my god! All right,
like your top 3 things. We'll narrow it.
So the absolute worst thing you could do as an artist is send your posts to everybody.
Oh, that
shit is the dumbest
what if I have a personal
fucking
message,
bullshit ever. Fuck no.
Like what if your personal
message?
So many.
Ain't no personal message if you're mass sending that shit.
So many people will just send me a song, no caption, nothing. Like listen. The personal message is one thing, but they just send me a video and just nothing, just new song. I'm not following you like that for you to send me no new song.
So here's the thing: if you're an artist looking to promote yourself and you're trying to network, and it's fine if you want to network to grow your music, but what the problem is most people are trying to chase, not attract.
Yeah,
you have to attract, because
damn, that's a good one. Put that in. Can we put that in? Chase, not attract.
Most definitely, because if you're chasing follows and purchases and whatever the fuck you're doing, because everybody's selling something. You're selling your music, or you're selling a product, like a physical product, whatever. You don't just go up to people and sell shit.
Would you like the guy outside the gas station selling shirts?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, if it's a fire enough shirt,
you'll probably sell a couple shirts if it's fire.
Yeah,
but
you really get like people trying to walk past you fast. Like, all right. Like you getting on
like
their
they ain't even
nerves.
trying to acknowledge.
But the thing is different if you're giving them a reason to fuck with you.
Yeah.
Because if you send them a post and say, "Oh, listen to my shit," or like if somebody's like, "Oh, I want to join the retreats, but I'm only gonna like do it if you listen to my music and let me know if it's fire first." Like, stop bullshitting me.
What the fuck you trying to do, bargain?
Like, if you really believe in your music, you're just gonna sign up for a retreat and then you're gonna show me the music either at the retreat or like once you're locked in or whatever. Because there's so many people that are just trying to get me to listen to their shit because they know that I know what I'm talking about when it comes to music and they want my opinion.
Well, that's why you do the music reviews.
But
so they can do that shit.
So I'll tell them like, I do music reviews. You know, you can send it in these days or whatever. But like, I don't got time to listen to every single track everybody sends me. But the artists that I find myself to be fucking with the most are the artists that genuinely give me a reason to find their music. Like, if you make content that happens to pop up on my page, I'm gonna watch it. First of all,
okay, nice.
I give every artist the time of day. If their shit comes up on
like,
my
at least
page,
Stafford's the type of guy give you a chance.
Yeah, it's on my page for a reason. Like, if you make a cool piece of content, I'm gonna fuck with it. You know, like, if there's any critiques that I have, I'll probably send it your way. But what's not gonna happen is me checking it out because you asked me to.
Okay.
And it's not even because I'm like,
that's fair though.
I'm not even trying to be like a hater or anything, but I'm trying to put myself in the same mentality as what the audience is going to be. Because if I'm mentoring somebody and I act like an audience wouldn't act, then what's that doing for the artist? Because I could tell them, like, if I'm mentoring somebody, like, I'll tell them not to do that, whatever. But like, if they go and do it anyways, I'm gonna treat it like I would treat any other artist and just ignore it.
Yeah,
because that's what most people are gonna do.
And
the majority of
people
aren't gonna check that shit.
I will move them to my general, like, you know how you have your primary and general. I move them to my general.
No, so everybody in my messages is in general until they give me a reason to be primary.
Yeah, same.
For sure.
I definitely agree with that. But
the second you start sending me mass send messages, start sending me your songs randomly, you gone. So first, don't mass send.
So first that shit don't mass send.
The second, I would say get good enough at content that you can make different styles.
Okay.
Like, learn how to do all the different trends. And I'm not.
Yeah, that's great.
That's how TikTok
I'm
works.
so fucking fed up with the people that are like, I gotta get people to dance to my shit. Like, I have to do like a corny dance trend.
No.
First of all,
you don't have dance to your own shit.
You don't have to do a TikTok song.
Dance to your own shit.
First of all, if anybody says that like making content is an art because it has to be like corny to get attention, you're stupid and you're wrong.
Stupid and wrong.
Literally dumb as fuck.
No take back.
And
stupid
wrong
and
as fuck. I'm so for real. I would never take that shit back.
No take back.
Stupid and wrong.
Stupid and wrong.
Stupid and wrong as fuck. Because there are so many artists, especially in 2024 and what will be in 2025, blowing up off of artistic ass shit. And a lot of the people who are making this music that's blowing up is not making corny content. The problem with it is that people are so caught up on what worked 5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago, you could pay some people to do some dances. That was kind of hot for a minute.
Yeah.
It was fine. But it's not anymore.
Yeah,
you just haven't been paying attention to shit. Like, we're starting to get the new generation
but they
of old
what they
heads in
dance
music
to.
because they see what works at first. Somebody tells them about it, and they spend the next 6 years trying to do the same bullshit. Social media is always changing, and we are in an absolute perfect time for artistic content right now. So you could go in your car and play a song, and people are gonna fuck with it if it's a good song. And that's one thing. Like, you need to have the good music. Like, that's like, my number 3 for music promos. You have to have good music, not just shit that your friends like or whatever, but like. And I'm
because you have a bunch of yes men around.
I'm also so fucked up about the artists that like think that their music's good because they only get their homies' opinions, or they're like, oh, this is my unique style of doing it.
Yeah, no.
If you don't know how to make something that sounds mainstream, you can't tell me that you've got a unique style, because the way you work at anything creatively is you learn the rules, and then you learn how to break them. If you don't do that, then I'm not gonna take
like a lawyer.
I'm not gonna take your comment for shit about, oh, but this is my specific art. This is how I do. Like the people who make the craziest shit, like Tizo Touchdown.
Oh
Tizo Touchdown is goated for his production, his songwriting, his style. But the thing is, he probably learned how to make punk rock ass music, like mainstream music. He learned how to play all this crazy shit on the guitar, I'm sure, and then moves over to like, you know, finding his style. He doesn't just like come up with some bullshit one day.
You put together what you learn.
Yeah, he doesn't just come up with some bullshit and is like, oh, this is my style now. Because of how good he is at what he does, it shows that he has the experience. Because while, yes, you can make art that's just for you, the other side to it is that you have to have some kind of foundational knowledge. Yeah, if you don't have foundational knowledge, it doesn't fucking matter.
So we're all like the same age, basically. Well, I'm 25. Y'all are 24. So forgive me if I'm
not hip, because you're old.
I think we're in an era where people are really afraid to be themselves. Everybody's really like, I get what you're saying too, following like know how to adapt to a trend, but also what you were saying was know how to just make, like, be your art, not try to be like the corny thing that's popular or whatever. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's TikTok that's done it, and maybe TikTok is going away in January. I hope not, because we kind of starting to blow up on there a little bit. But yeah, people are afraid to just do what's in their heart for real. And I really hope that we get to a period in time where you just put out, like, that's part of why I wanted to do this podcast, because I'm not a very open person sometimes, and this is like this is a way to put out what I'm really thinking about, what I'm really feeling. I just like the yap. Our real takes on stuff, how I really feel about whatever part of music. But like, artists are in an era where like even who was it? Who's the I was bad at fucking school?
Boss Man D-Lo, which was crazy because he ended up in my top 5 songs on my Spotify rap.
So he's great. I think he said like all of his songs are 2 minutes. But I think he said all his songs are 1:30. But he said all his songs are 1:30 because after a minute, people are skipping songs. And I think that's cool. I think that's stupid because it's like, as an artist, and you do have an indifference in artists when it comes to this. But I'm looking for my music to have longevity. But that's what I'm saying. I think it's cool. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But just making all your songs a minute, and I'm not trying to.
I feel like it loses love.
I'm not trying to talk about him, but I'm saying just making your songs like this is the trend. All songs are 2 minutes because all songs are just 2 minutes. That takes away from your full artistic freedom. Like, you can make a song.
I slightly disagree.
Yeah,
what?
I slightly disagree.
I feel like that makes you a 5 minute of fame type of rapper, because it's like once you've
recorded, because you're only making songs for that era. Like, listen, in 10 years from now, it might be different.
It depends on your intentions.
Okay.
Because there's a couple sides to it. Like, one, yes, you could just be doing it because you think that's what's gonna work, but the other side of it, you're an artist. You're a creative person. Setting limitations with your creativity always makes for better creativity. If you try to make a song in an hour, you're going to come up with something totally different than if you didn't give yourself a time limit. If you try to condense all your best shit into 2 minutes instead of doing like 4 or 5 minute songs like you were used to, that's challenging yourself as a creative. And it's not about the result. It's about what you put into it. So if you go into it with the intention of like, okay, I really like making 5 minute songs, but how could I make it 2 minutes? If I had to pick my favorite 2 minutes out of that and condense it down, one, because it's going to do better socially, but two, you're just challenging yourself. And just because you do a song that's ideal for listeners and shit doesn't mean, one, it has to be your only version of that song.
Oh, true.
I mean, Juice used to do that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, because that's what he said. He said all his songs are 1:30 because after 2 minutes, people either want to replay the song or they're tired of it. They don't want to hear a 4 minute.
People
today don't want to hear a 4 minute song. People today don't want to watch a 3 hour movie.
But there's still 3 hour movies and 4 minute songs that do good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Because you just had, okay, I'll give a good example of that is Denzel Curry and his Hot Ones. A lot of people don't really like to listen to 2 and 3 artists on a song. Like they did back in the day when you had Rick Ross, Nicki Minaj, everybody on one song like that. But the fact that it was an interesting, I want to say it was maybe 3.5. It was an interesting 3.5 minute song. It blew up. It did well.
Yeah.
But also on the opposite side of the stick, you have people like Boss Man D-Lo who are just making it purposely to be a minute and a half. But I feel like this Hot Ones is gonna.
He's making music that's supposed to appeal to clubs and shit.
And it's
Boss
working.
Man D-Lo is not like Jeremy Zucker and Dominic Fike trying to make like the most timeless, beautiful music ever. Like he's trying to make some hard shit that you could play in the club.
And club
if
mixes,
you want to make some shit
club
for the
mixes,
club,
they
like,
skip the song too. They skip the song
They
after a
skip
minute.
it, break
they
it,
start
but he
trending
still
it.
gets paid for it.
Yeah,
but it's still intended for that kind of environment.
Yeah, so that's, I mean, it's working. It's working for him.
So,
But I don't think he made nothing like Travis Porter.
So if you want to be an artist that's like making waves in the clubs and like being the mainstream radio shit, you're not gonna make 4 or 5 minute songs about like your dreams and shit. Like you're gonna make hard
But I
shit
am gonna make
like
sure that
1
minute and 30 is so good that you're playing this in the club in 10 years.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, make it however you want to make it, but also understand the different sides of like how it'll do socially, where your target audience is and shit.
Who is your target audience?
Because who gives a fuck how long a song is? What matters?
You would be surprised.
Well, I know, like as an audience and like, you know, socially and whatever, but I'm talking about in general.
But like, who is your target audience? That's an important question.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because if your target audience likes 4 minute songs, sure, you could be different and make 2 minute songs, and that could work. It would be a little bit more challenging, or you could learn how to make 4 minute songs and appeal to that audience.
But like, if Boss Man D-Lo starts making 5 minute songs right now, what are his fans gonna say? They'll probably be like,
that he copy and pasted literally 5 minutes worth of the same shit.
They'll probably be upset if he start making 5 minute songs, because that's what his fan base is already used to that, and they like that. But like Kendrick or somebody like J. Cole or somebody, if they start doing 30-second songs, people will be like, oh, this ain't enough.
But
this isn't enough.
Yeah, it's not enough. But it's a difference because they want more. But with Boss Man D-Lo, it's like, and not to bash him, I don't really want more. I'm like happy with what I have.
Because he's the club. He's, like you said, it's for that club scene. It's for that hit, that hard, that timing. Like he's got a specific audience that he's trying to hit.
I'm just saying, if he puts something that's heartfelt and tries to drop it, it's not gonna do well.
But if it's a message that he really wants to get across, he's gonna do it anyways.
I mean, yeah.
But his shit isn't really about the message that it's sending. It's about the feeling that you're getting from it.
Yeah. But a lot of albums,
more of a vibe.
No, but a lot of albums that, you know, he might do a whole album where he's got like that minute 30 shit, and then, you know, like that last song, like his outro or something is something super deep. Yeah. You gotta have like that super emotional outro song.
I mean, you just gotta make it fucking good.
You just gotta understand the balance between business and art, because music is business whether you like it or not. Like whether you like it or not, if you want to be a very successful artist, there's a lot of business aspects that you have to learn, or you won't be a successful artist.
I think the most important question I can ever ask you, and maybe it's a 2-part, maybe it's a 1-part. What is your favorite movie? Or if there's something, or both, what's your favorite TV show?
I really fuck with Grown Ups. I'm not gonna lie.
Grown Ups? Okay.
The
series or just the first one?
I fuck with the first one. Mostly because it's like a very nostalgic movie to me. Yeah. And I like stupid comedies. I feel like it's the epitome of like the style of movies that I really gravitate towards.
Is there a time in your life that you remember from it, or is it just the movie itself?
Just my whole life has been around. I probably watch that movie at least once a year.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a solid movie.
Is there a TV show that you really like?
I like a lot of different TV shows. If I had to pick a MVP all time, it'd be Futurama for sure.
Okay.
I could never get into Futurama.
No.
I could never get into Futurama.
It's been a great episode.
No.
I could never get into
Futurama was crazy.
You know what's crazy about Futurama?
What's up?
And this might interest you in it. It was written by like 4 people that got PhDs.
That's weird.
They
What
all
the
got
fuck?
No, but that makes sense though. That makes
The
sense.
shit is so elevated on Futurama.
Really?
They really get into science,
all
for
of
real.
the writers have PhDs. Like
I
they're
thought it was just
smart
like some
motherfuckers. You know those YouTube series that's like everything wrong with this show in like 5 minutes and goes through like all the plot holes.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Futurama.
That makes sense. I need to watch Futurama all the way through.
They had like 8 seasons, and they made the finale of the 8th season. I won't spoil anything, but they made it loop perfectly.
Yeah,
It's the first one, and then
because
they added one more season, and it still worked.
Yeah, because he he went into like
Well,
the
I guess I
cryo.
need to tap into Futurama because
The
I'm
continuity
sleeping.
is stupid good.
Fucking I never expected that answer out of you.
That's the Futurama. Like it's a good show. I enjoy it because it does all of the it does all of like the raunchy humor stuff. Like I feel like I'm not trying to hate on Rick and Morty, and it
sounds like you're hating on Rick
I haven't
and Morty.
seen.
Don't even get started.
I haven't seen all of Rick and
No
Morty,
takebacks.
so I can't give a full
No
take on
takebacks,
it.
for
But I've
real.
seen like the first few seasons, and I feel like Futurama is one of those shows where it has like some of that raunchy humor, but that backstory that goes with it is so strong that it really works. Like it really feels like I really feel like I'm in the year 3000 or whatever
I feel
Futurama
like
takes place in.
Rick
So
and
it's-
Morty has that feel. Rick and Morty feels like that.
Rick and Morty, like I feel like, well, especially after the creator went and like did whatever he did. That was one of those shows that kind of like,
Guys, I'm drunk. I'm going to the bathroom.
oh Lord. I wonder what people like. I don't know. I feel like Futurama isn't like popping as much as it should be.
It's not.
Like I wonder, for people that have watched both all the way through, how many people like Futurama or Rick and Morty more? Because for me, and I can talk about visual media all day long. I love so many shows and movies. There's very many movies that I don't like. That's why I always ask everybody what their favorite movie is.
Well, I'll tell you a recent favorite.
Yeah.
Because it skipped my brain that you're a film guy.
Okay.
This one will appeal to you. This is a recent favorite.
All right.
The Creator.
The Creator.
Have you seen it?
I haven't. Who's in it? Or what's in it?
I don't know which actors were in it,
What's the?
but it's like a sci-fi movie.
Okay.
It's crazy as fuck. But it, like, as I started learning camera shit and I started getting more into the film side, that, like, as soon as I saw it, it easily became one of my favorite movies because of, like, the way that it's filmed. The whole thing was actually filmed on a Sony FX3.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. That's like a $3,000-$4,000 camera.
So it's got that
was
movie,
crazy.
The Creator. It's got John David Washington
Who
in
the
it.
fuck are we talking about?
We're talking about the
I was
Creator.
talking about my recent movie favorite because he's a film nerd. I'm getting into that.
Y'all are
And-
nerds.
And
Yeah.
as
Oh.
a new film nerd,
Hold
The
up.
Creator is just an absolute banger of a movie.
It's got Baby Boy Stepdad in there, Ving Rhames. It's got Haley Atwell.
you gotta look at the stills from it, bro. Like
John David Washington.
See,
it was so
I'm
beautifully
not tapped
cinematic.
into the game, y'all. I gotta
So
get
fire,
right,
bro.
I
So-
The
guess.
color grading, everything.
color grading.
I have a watch list on Letterboxd, and I'm gonna add The Creator to my watch list because it looks pretty interesting. And to know that it was filmed on a prosumer type camera, something that, I mean, I still can't afford it, but something that, you know, you might be able to
Just after
afford.
you get one so we can play with it.
I
I don't even know what it does.
It's like a $3,000 camera.
Okay, so I was down on the price a little
What
bit.
about the
It's
six? What is it better than the Red Dragon? That's the only one I know.
The Red
Probably-
Dragon.
Probably not, but
I don't know what a Red Dragon is.
no, it's probably
No.
not better than
I
a
don't know
Red
Red.
Dragon, but I will tell you, a red
Yeah, I
camera.
know,
So
I don't know those crazy cameras like that.
So,
I know
red
my Sonys.
cameras are very expensive. The thing about expensive cameras, and I'm just gonna go into I'm gonna go into a camera thing real quick.
Well, I thought it was the one that you have to kind of mount.
People will request or think about like red cameras, or think they need a red camera, or think they need an Arri Alexa. A movie like The Creator didn't use that. Those cameras, they start at like $10,000, and that's just the camera. The battery is like $3,000, and then after the battery, you're talking about the microphone and all kind of things that are another thousands of dollars. So a camera, like a movie using a camera like that, it's I can't even. Yeah. I'm not gonna get into it, but it's crazy. And so because of that, I want to watch it. There are movies that have been filmed on like iPhones, but I think that's pushing it a little too far.
At what point do you think an artist is ready to be managed, and at what point do you think you will be managing an artist?
What a lot of artists don't realize is that they don't need a manager most of the time.
Facts.
Artists go into it thinking like, oh, I need a manager, and then I'll ask somebody who hits me up about that. I'll say like, oh, why do you need a manager? Like, why do you think that? And every single time somebody thinks that they need a manager that I know for sure they don't, they're like, oh, but because I need more plays, I need to get shows, I need to get podcast episodes, I need to get publicity.
But they can
That's
do that
not
themselves.
a manager's job.
You can do it yourself.
A manager's job is to manage, not push. A great manager can also push, but the thing is, most managers add fuel to the fire that's already there. I would say I'm friends at least with Tabari Francis. You ever heard of him?
No.
So he's Tizo Touchdown's manager. He also discovered Black Bear. He manages Ellie Duhay, John Wild.
Yeah, how do you not know Tizo Touchdown? You know Tizo Touchdown?
No,
that's crazy. That's
the guy with the nails in his hair.
that's so crazy. Anyways,
I'm into black stuff.
You know Black Bear. So this guy is like the reason that Black Bear got into his sessions with all the most important people in his circle.
Okay.
Like, he's the reason that all the most important Black Bear albums even happened.
Okay. Like
and he comes to the retreats now, by the way. So motion. Motion. So he came to the September one and the October one. He'd been to a bunch before. I know him because I produced a song for Chandler Matkins called "Figure It Out."
Oh yeah.
If you don't know it, it's fire.
Told them put it on me. They started throwing it back. I'm about all of the features, but I take a like in the ass.
I told her to put it on me.
Is this big dude with like red? He got a big red beard. He's fire as fuck. He got bars for days. And
did he ever come to one of your retreats?
No, he will. He will.
Okay,
for sure. But yeah, he's funny as hell. He's dope. But the thing with him is like, so Tabari manages him as well. But there's nothing that Tabari can really do for him unless he's like getting numbers on TikTok and he's got his own motion and everything. A manager is supposed to manage the shit that you've already got.
That's true.
So this isn't just for when you should get a manager,
you're overwhelmed.
But this is for any time you should hire somebody. Learn the basics of all the things that person that you're gonna hire needs to do before you ever start hiring somebody to do it.
Okay.
Like
the best.
The fuck.
I kind of did me. I did the.
It's all good.
With the.
It's all good. Anyways, like I was saying,
well,
this fucking guy came up.
So you should be able to manage yourself before you know when you need
a manager. Comes in when an artist is so overwhelmed with all the shit that they literally cannot manage it themselves. That's what a manager
and you have to trust them to do your business conversations. Because you have
and artists be thinking that they need a manager because they're gonna get the motion, they're gonna get them shows. Like, these are all things that you have to do yourself. A manager is going to proliferate it. A manager is going to make sure that when your song blows up, it goes into...
Hell yeah.
A manager is going to make sure that all your shit gets into the right rooms. That it, like, when you're blowing up on TikTok, that you utilize that platform appropriately so that you can build up the best fan base and, you know, start getting shows.
Often confused with the A&R. Do you think?
Yeah, I mean, an A&R is somebody that's going to find your music and send it out to the right people.
Okay.
Like,
are A&Rs in charge of developing you at all or no?
They can be.
Okay.
The thing about any kind of music executive is all of them can really do any other part of what a music executive should do. Like, the greatest A&Rs,
don't let them fool you.
The greatest A&Rs are also going to be really good at managing and really good at all these other things, but their bread and butter is A&Ring. A great manager can also be a great A&R, but they have like that main thing that they're focusing on. Like Tabari could be a great A&R, and he does A&R stuff, but his main thing is being a manager.
5 DMs a day or 15 DMs a day. You have to do a good amount of that before you get to a point where you need.
And having those people respond.
Do as much of that as you can until I can't DM anybody else, or I don't have I have too much going on. Now I need a manager.
Yeah, unless those 5 people are now DMing you instead of you in reverse, right?
Yeah. So a manager isn't going to be somebody that's like responding to DMs. You should be in control of your DMs. Yeah. For sure. But I get what you're saying.
With people not controlling their
accounts. But for me, I'm not reaching out to 5 people every single day anymore because there's way more than that hitting me up every day.
Yeah.
The point is you're getting 5 connections every day.
Yeah.
So like for me, like technically I could still be doing that, but I don't think it's going to be as beneficial for me now because I've got so many people that hit me up that I'm attracting now. Them. I don't have to chase anymore because now I'm just attracting so much that I attract all the people that I need.
Like so Stafford put up there that he's giving away a free hat. I'm on it. Like, okay.
So are you being managed or agented by anybody, or are you the one doing the managing now?
I do everything myself
for your business, right?
Yeah, for my
like
business,
underground retreats and Stafford Beats.
I thought that 2024 was going to be the year that I hired a lot of people and started outsourcing a lot of things.
Do you want one for each? Because you like
that's what I need.
That's
what I need.
Oh wow!
So I've been on that outsourcing wave, and I've got some people that I trust with outsourced projects.
You on Indeed or something?
But every single person that I've hired this year, I had to fire because they just weren't executing at the level that I need them to. And
do you give them critiques though before you terminate them?
For sure, yeah.
Or is it just like man, you didn't know how to do this, you're gone?
Well, it depends on the level of the mistake. Like if it's something that's out of ignorance, that's one thing. I'm gonna teach. I'm always going to take the opportunity to teach because it's always going to be better for you if you don't fuck up the connection and whatever. Like, I'd rather not have to train somebody new on all the things that this person has learned because of one stupid mistake because they didn't know. That's one thing. But if it's from, like, a clear lack of care, then that's a whole different thing. And that kind of depends on the situation.
Yeah, you don't want nobody on your team that don't give a fuck.
If they specifically don't care so much that they made like a crazy stupid mistake and it was because of the lack of care and not because of ignorance, for sure they're gone. 100%.
Oh yeah.
So but the thing is like my backing when I tell people they don't need a manager is because I don't have a manager. You could look in like the more you look into what I do, the more you look into the shit that I'm doing, the more you'll see that like there's so many avenues.
Yeah.
I got a cooking page.
What the fuck?
Would you be
No, I don't know. He dead ass does, yeah.
I don't be posting on it that much, but I'll be like making pasta from scratch and shit.
Okay.
Like
I didn't know. I did peep that.
Yeah. I got a page for my girlfriend and I. We be doing skits.
Does Colorado have like a culture?
Yeah, when the last time you been back?
I don't. Or
are you just too worldly right now?
But I do not like the Colorado music scene. And
I don't know they have one.
Exactly. I feel weird. Like I feel weird about like areas with music because like I don't know. This is some deep shit. This is crazy. Like this.
He finna piss some people off.
No, not even like this is some deep personal shit. Like from where I came from and like where I'm at now, like I do not have a super strong connection with my family.
Yeah.
Except for like my dad and a couple people on my dad's side. Like my whole mom's side, terrible relationship.
Oh wow.
And that was most of the people that I know in Colorado and that still live in Colorado. And I also never really had a music scene in Colorado, and basically every year since I started making music, I've moved at least once a year. So I don't rep anywhere.
Oh wow.
And for me it's weird. Like I don't rep anywhere.
You just rep the
I don't got like family that I'm repping. Like this is not for like my family legacy or anything like that. Like
you're just a worldly
I feel like I was.
Do you want to start? Like, do you want kids eventually?
I'm on the fence about that.
Okay,
we'll see. It depends. It depends on where I'm in life. Like if I'm like very, very successful in the next couple of years, and I'm, doing all the things that like I could do in that time, and I'm very well off, then like maybe. But if I'm like consistently in a position of like building up, then not necessarily.
I was just wondering, like, is there like once you've built all of this like to the level of your satisfaction and you've maintained it, and it's time for you to kind of like retire and you finally not stress out, like, are you looking to hand it down to anyone, or
I don't think it would be one of those things where it like stays in the family or whatever. Like, I don't think it's gonna be like that. I think I don't know, like the family that you develop over time, I feel like can be way stronger than the family that you're born with. And that's kind of how I live my whole life.
Blood ain't thicker than water.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I fuck with the retreats so much, because that really feels like the family that I just don't have.
When do you plan on managing someone?
So I've actually managed people in the past, and I hate it.
Okay.
Well, it looks like y'all guys are out of luck.
Yeah. So I have a unique approach though.
Okay.
That kind of solves the problem that people are looking to get fixed. And I might start managing again. There's actually a couple of artists that I can think of that I'm not gonna say right now, because I'm trying to keep it like I don't know, and
people
I don't
want people to make favorites and nothing like that.
Yeah, and I don't want people to think that like I'm going to, and then I end up deciding not to. I don't like managing artists because I try to live through those artists, and when you perceive an artist, or like you think of a plan of like what they should do, for most people you're just projecting what you would do if you were in their position.
Yeah.
And you're not really thinking about what they would do in their own position. And I understand that, and I recognize that fault in my thinking, but I'm not changing it. So I don't really plan on managing artists, because unless it's somebody that's very similar and like-minded to me, I just don't see it working out very well. So my solution is intermittent managing, which is basically like, it's kind of like signing a song versus signing an artist. It's
That's
like
legit.
It's like I work out
them with a rollout.
I work out specific things, like my boy Caden. You know Caden, right? The producer.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't manage Caden, because he's not doing enough things that are like in line with what I want and like what I would do in his position. But there was a time where he got a placement with K-Suave, and K-Suave wouldn't pay him. He dropped the album. And everybody knows K-Suave is this fire underground person. He's like fucks with his producers and shit.
Sound by true.
And then Caden's like, talking about how he and his co-producer need like $300 each for this beat. That's nothing for this big ass album. Right. I bitched him out for saying 300. I was like, really, dude?
Yeah.
But bro agreed to it. Album came out. He never saw the bread. So
for Sexually Active?
No, it was the one after that, I think.
Okay.
Midnight in Malibu.
Yes.
Yeah, he got, I don't remember which song on that, but he got a song on there.
But he still dropped it, didn't he?
Yeah. So he dropped it, and then it was like that weekend that I told Kaden, like, all right, hit him up again, because he was living with us at the time, and and we were just kind of keeping tabs on the situation. I'm like, I always like to give artists a few days, because I know releases can be hectic and there's a lot of shit going on, whatever.
Yeah.
But as long as they're good, they add you within the first few days, like, no problem. Well, the weekend comes. It's been like 5, 6, 7 days. He ain't get nothing.
Yeah.
So you hit him up. He's like, oh, I got you soon. Like, I'm just waiting on the label, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right,
I'm going to say
I've heard that before.
Because I'm not even trying to fuck with nobody.
But. So I wait like a week. Right?
Yeah.
Still nothing. He said he was going to send it in like 3 days. He said he was going to send it like Tuesday or Wednesday or something.
It's $600, right? Total.
Yeah. It's nothing.
Yeah, that ain't shit.
Just, boop, and then the label
pays
him back.
He flexed more than that.
Yeah. So it came to week 2. Ooh. And this is where the intermediate managing came in. I stepped in. This is where big dog activities was born. Because sometimes you got to bitch an artist out. And you got to understand that sometimes the artist needs to be bitched out.
Yeah.
Like, no disrespect. At the end of the day, disrespect to anybody specific. I'm not saying K-Suave is like a bad person or anything like that. But
it's a business.
My boy didn't get paid, and you dropped the project. So
it's a business,
regardless of how that happened. He didn't get paid. I had to make sure that he got paid. So I hit up K-Suave, and I told him, what did I tell? I told him, like, $2,200 is what we needed for the beat now, since he was bullshitting us.
Yeah, or else you're gonna take it down.
That's what exactly.
Yeah.
Because I have his
rightfully
number.
so.
I have his number. I used to send him beats and shit.
Yeah.
So we called. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be $2,200, and you're gonna send it by Friday. It was like Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna send it by Friday, or by Sunday the album's gonna be gone. Mm-hmm. And it's up to you to decide if you want to do that or if you want to take the risk or like you don't believe me or whatever. Hung up. Oh. Guess who got the money a day later? Because he kept trying to hit us up. He called me like 4 more times. He called Caden a bunch of times. Yeah. Texted us like, oh, but it's my label. Like I told you, blah blah blah.
No, yep. I don't give a fuck.
And here's the craziest part of all of it is like a month later, guess who hit up Caden for more beats? K-Swap did.
Yeah, of course he.
But guess who got his $2,200?
Yeah. As he fucking should.
Just to round up, I wanted to ask, what is it that you gain from the retreats? Because altruism,
besides the friendships and the family and the relationship, what
because
do you gain?
I know you like to help and develop artists. Altruism is one thing, but you have to gain something.
I mean, that really honestly is the number one reason that I host the retreats, is to grow a community and to develop people. Because
that's important,
here's what I've learned. I could prioritize my music, but there's only so far it's going to go. For me, it's technically a selfish thing, because the selfish part about it is that I want to make the best art possible. And I want it to be heard by the most people possible. Mm-hmm. And I understand the balance between business and art. And I'm very, very good at the business side. Mm-hmm. And I'm good. I'm pretty solid at the art side. You know, like I make some banging beats and shit. But when it
Stafford's goated at everything.
But when it comes to certain things, I know people personally that are better than me at it.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and you got to use that.
If I have a project where I need to work with an artist that's fire as fuck, and I need to make them a crazy dubstep track, for example, I could make a dubstep track, but I know there's somebody in this house that's been making EDM for 19 years. That's made dubstep for longer than I've even like known music.
So you use the retreats just like any other artist that you invite? Like, do you work on songs here? You work on beats here also?
Yeah. I mean, I work on shit here for sure, but like, the thing that I'm getting out of it is I'm responsible for putting some of the greatest art out.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking cool. And I found that my best position is being the coordinator, being the dot connector. Mm-hmm. Because like I said at the beginning of this, like I have a crazy intuition with music.
But also because you're a jack of all trades, it's like it's good that you organize these events and you have you as the focal point in here, but most importantly it's because there isn't a question that you can't answer.
Yeah, it's like if I can't give a perfect answer for it, I know somebody who can. I know somebody for everything. Like when somebody says like I got a guy for everything, I do. I dead ass know somebody for literally anything. It doesn't matter what the topic is in the fucking entire world. Like I probably know somebody that even if they don't know the right resource, like they know how to get to it. Like I could get any answer to any question I could possibly ask.
Yeah, and that is much appreciated in a house like this, especially because when you come to a place for like underground retreats, you come to learn. Mm-hmm. And you learn to grow and network and everything that you really wanted to inquire about prior to coming here, and the fact that you can answer that is like so freaking important. To get to the altruism of it.
To get into the altruism of it all, you know, you could be selfish, you could be just working for yourself, but you do these retreats with 70 plus artists. You don't have to do this. Why is it that you care so much about helping people? Why do you enjoy developing artists? What is it about it? Why do you do this?
I think on a really deep level is because it fills the gap of the family that I like, not that I don't have, but that I'm not like super close with. Yeah. I think that this, like, it's a great resource for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love it. I love having people around that, you know, I could talk to, but also like be able to connect with on a creative level, because what I've realized is I've got a gift for building communities and putting people together. And that is the most important thing to me. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I even necessarily have like a why other than the fact that like I know that I am capable of putting things together in a way that most people aren't. Mm-hmm. And if I single-handedly have an ability to create a pocket in the industry that creates something positive that was not there prior, that's like one of the most fulfilling things I could possibly do.
Is there religion, or do you feel in any way that you were put here for that reason, or do you feel like you were born for that reason?
These are damn good questions.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like a slightly religious person.
I understand.
Like, in a sense that I'm not going to church. I'm not following the man-made ways of living as like a Christian or a Catholic or a Lutheran or like whatever the fuck. Like I don't care about all that.
Yeah.
I like the thought of there being something greater, so that I have somebody to talk to that like 100% no judgment.
Yeah.
Like I talk to God, but that's like about the extent of it. And like I don't try to push it anymore, because since I was a kid, I always had the mindset that like if God put us on the earth for like a limited period of time, we're supposed to practice gratitude towards the other people.
Yeah.
But we don't need to spend our entire lives worshiping and thanking and loving this God figure when we can spend that time worshiping and thanking and loving each other.
Yeah.
You know? Because that's the most fulfilling thing you could do, is be grateful. For sure. Like gratitude is like the number one thing that brings you happiness in life. And the amount of gratitude that I have for all of the artists that have been there for me because I've been there for them or whatever, like that's everything to me. So
it ain't nowhere Stafford can't go. That's that type shit.
But that's what it really is. And I'm one of the, it could sound like I'm not a very happy person or whatever, because I'm talking about like, you know, how this feels like my new family and like all this shit. It's the opposite. I'm like the happiest person I know. Like, I got my days where I'm like, you know, down or whatever, but like
living how you want to live.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything that I'm meant to do, that I want to do, but going back to answering the question, like I don't feel like anybody is necessarily born or like brought onto the earth for a specific purpose necessarily. Like everybody ends up finding that, but I don't know. I feel like that's just one of those like terms that people often like push or whatever. Like, I don't know. I feel like every artist is like, I was put on this earth to help people.
But you feel like you found your purpose?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like, it definitely feels like incredibly fulfilling.
But I feel like even if you had like 2.2 million, you'd still be throwing underground retreats.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Especially then.
Yeah.
Because that's just gonna like rock everything. And what's so cool about the retreats is
security.
So the craziest thing about the retreats is that, and it's one that I only recently discovered. Like it's always been around, but like I'm always trying to think of like, okay, why do people make their best music here? Why do people have like the most incredible growth here? And it's because there's a full uninterrupted period of creativity. Yeah. Oh yeah. Uninterrupted is that's the key point, because you could be making music at home by yourself or whatever. And you want to make a track with somebody, you got to record it. Then you got to send it to them. You got to make sure you get all the info, get their email right. Then you got to wait for them. Yeah. You got to see if they're motivated to do it at that time. Here, it's not like that. Yeah, no. Here, you walk into a room, 10 minutes later, you could have a song with 2 other people on it.
Yeah. And you're here for 5 to 7 days. So if you didn't finish it today, you're going to work on it tomorrow.
And you're not sitting there doing your job.
It's like no matter whatever you make, you can find somebody in the house that complements it well.
Yes. And it's not like you wake up, you got to go to your job for 8 hours, and then you come back, and then like you got to go shopping, and you got to do this random thing.
It really is a great taste of the life you want as an artist or a musician.
You get like an hour to make music, and then you got to go do this, and then you get like 2 hours, and then you're waiting on people. It's not like that. You just get that whole time. And what you would think going into it is that because of like how people need breaks and everything like that, like it would be still like, but you still faster,
take those breaks. Like there's always a quiet part in the house where you go take your nap.
Yeah.
And then you wake up and you go.
But that's like an hour or two. That's not like giant chunks out of your day. Like when you go to work and then you come home and make music, chances are you're still like getting ready for bed for like 2-3 hours. Yeah. Like you're winding down. You want to like make music for a little bit and then you want to relax and watch TV. It's not like that here. Ain't nobody doing that.
Yeah, no, yeah, hell no.
But you did a retreat, so it helped you out. You felt good.
Hell yeah! Especially it boosted my confidence as an artist for sure. Because before I really didn't know like what I was making and how good it was or anything like that. And then you come to the retreat and everybody kind of just like it's like a big hug for an artist. I like to say, because when you come here, it's like even if they don't know you, they really want to get to know you.
Yeah.
And no matter when you started or how long you've been doing it or how short of a time you've been doing it, they still want to get to know you. They still want to work with you. Nobody's gonna be like, oh, fuck you, I've been doing this shit for da-da-da-da-da. I mean, you might have those one or two, but then you have Stafford.
Ego's gone.
And Stafford's just like, yeah, no, we're not going for that. Like, I'll give you your money back before I let you sit here and disrespect everybody in here. And that's why, like, he's a perfect organizer for it. But my first ever retreat, I want to say 20 years old. And I came all the way from Georgia to Florida. And when I got to I had little to no money. I arrived at the airport. I texted Stafford and some of the people on his team at the time, and I was like, hey, I need to get to the house. They organized some way for me to get from MCO to that house, which is like almost, it was like an hour and a half away at that time. Organized that. I got there. Hey, where can I stay? Hey, this is the retreat. You're the only female here. We got your own room. That's so nice. They made me super comfortable off rip right there. I was waking up to beautiful beats that Stafford was making and going upstairs, and somebody always had something that was appealing to the ear. There was nobody that was doing something completely outrageous, even if they were experimenting, and you got to witness that and be a part of that. And so it really does. It gives you just a big hug as an artist. Like, hey, you can still make it. You can still do this. You still have time. And these people are here to work with you. And and there's much more that goes into that, and how you can feel as an artist really is something that you have to check out and experience for yourself instead of looking behind the screen.
And that's the underground retreats for y'all. So we got Stafford Beats. This is No Takebacks.
Another episode. Poppy, AK Zion, like the lion.
She's still saying it wrong. It's okay.
Fuck my boy Stafford Beats. Thank you for another great episode. Thank you for coming on. And I know that we talk a lot. We just be yapping.
Is there anything that you have coming up that you want to promote?
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Everything.
Couple little things. If you're a producer, go to theproducercrate.com. I got some crazy drum kits, sample packs, whatever you need. If you want to make shit sound good, that's where you'll go.
Be cooking.
Other than that, just pay attention to the retreats, bro. The amount that they've grown over the last couple of years is insane, and 2025 is about to be even crazier. We're starting off strong with the classic Orlando retreat in March.
Mm-hmm.
I hear they're going to a castle.
Tentatively to LA in June, and then the big one this year, we are going to a castle in Scotland.
Damn, man, Scotland.
So it's going to be our very first international one. And it's crazy. Spots are open now. We got a couple people locked in already. And as the retreats grow,
hit them up.
It locks in faster. So make sure you get in if you're literally trying to change your life as an artist. And I say that in the most humble way possible. Like, this shit is everything you need as an artist. And even if it's not, it's going to lead you in the right direction.
Stafford Beats.
Hold up all these files, don't need no partners to finish cups, y'all. Can't run them bleeds, but don't flag off. You just up the song, blowing down, just be medicinal.